Hello, this is Diana. Welcome to my channel where I discuss all things bookish. Today is another Plan With Me video, but this one is unique. 99% of the Plan With Me videos on YouTube show 1 week at a time. My life is not always like that, and I bet yours isn't either. So how do you plan ahead and still keep true to your schedule and your creativity and all of those wonderful stickers you have? Well, the first 2 months for me have been an experiment because we sold our house. So we sold our house in 27 days, which is really awesome. And we are moving from Michigan to New Jersey on this date. And there is a lot of stuff to do in between. There are tasks and goodbyes and so many other things to take care of. So I've been making good use of the month at a glance feature, the sidebars, and the weekly view. And I will show you how I've taken care of those, and hopefully that will give you some ideas of how you can plan your life. I use my month at a glance view to record my big event for the day. There's been one focal activity on each day, whether it's a doctor's appointment, saying goodbye to someone, my writers group. As I made these appointments, I put a box sticker on that particular square. And I used stickers from the Pink Room Company, their mystery kits. I have 2 of them. And I used the boxes that are part of the kit. These are the perfect size, and most of them are light enough to write on. I have also used the boxes here from the Michaels Recollection Planning Kit. Let's see. And those have been a perfect size as well. So all the empty boxes represent a day that is currently free. So as of today, which is February 17th, these days left in Michigan are very precious to me. So I've been making dates with everyone, even including myself here, day at home to make phone calls. And I've made a date with my husband we have a jazz night on that Thursday. So if you have a busy month to schedule out or schedule around certain activities, this is one way to do it. It keeps things neat and clean and visual. So you can tell whether you have a somewhat empty month or whether you have just a super crowded, busy month. That is a really good way to use the month at a glance. On to the sidebar. These calendars are printed with a notes section for a reason. They're meant to be used for notes at a glance. I'm using the Happy Planner, but all of the planners I've seen out there have a notes column. And there's a column on both the month at a glance as well as the weekly view. I'm using my monthly and my weekly sidebars to keep me focused, but in a slightly different manner. With my month at a glance, I'm writing down the big tasks that I have planned for the month. So looking here at January, I made a list of places, people I wanted to see, places I wanted to visit, coffee shops and restaurants I wanted to eat at. I know that may seem a little shallow to keep a running tab of this, but we never visit the places that are around us that we like, that we want to revisit until we have to leave. So that's what my column here is for. And in February, right now, it's open. And I did that because I wasn't sure how my January would shake out. But now that I'm here in February, I can start to fill this out. Here I've begun to fill out my February sidebar using an ordinary ballpoint pen, although I do have a set that is in various colors, and I do that simply because I like the colors. It's a splash of happiness, and I don't choose a color for any particular activity or event. Simply, I like it for the whimsy of it all. And so my tasks for February are a little bit different than January. Here I've written that I want to remember to get some of my work submitted for critique at my writers groups. I wanted to make sure that I gathered some stuff that for us to pack that movers won't take, that we don't want the movers to take. Make sure that we still donate whatever's left to donate stuff, which if you don't know about them, donatestuff.com, fabulous site. They will put you in touch with a local organization that is looking for donations, and it is free, absolutely wonderful, and you'll be helping local. I love it. It's so easy to use. I highly, highly recommend that. And the next thing, and really the last thing I can think of right now, is finding a foster home for my plants. If you follow my Instagram site, do a search on the hashtag #TheWritersTree, and you will see you will see tree, goodness. You will see my plants, Tree and Sprout, and they're pretty large, and I need someone to look after them until we find a house, because we're moving from our house into temporary housing. So these are some of the things, slightly different now from January, which is fine because some of these I've already done, and the ones that I have to do, this is what I'm going to break out into my weekly sidebars. And just so you know, I've used the sticker sidebars from both the Recollections from Michaels and some of the Pink Room Company stickers, simply because I had them handy. They kind of sort of match, wasn't planned, wasn't intended, and it really doesn't matter to me. And with the sidebar, I've also left room for additional activities and plans that are sure to come up, and that's what the note section is for, is to keep a running tab of what I need to do this month. So let me show you my weekly sidebars, and I'll show you how I'm using them in conjunction. Using my weekly sidebars, January is not the best example for that, simply because all of my tasks had to do with reminders of places I want to go, and I didn't do a whole lot in January. I did use this sticker, Stop and Smell the Roses, from another Michaels Recollection kit. This one is Creative Year, and someone in Michaels, when I just happened to be browsing, she kind of enabled me to buy this. And it's nothing more than sheets of just little quotes, little word reminders, just cute little things, and they're almost all foil. So there's a little splash of color there. But yeah, so I just used Stop and Smell the Roses because Penn State went to the Rose Bowl this year. But looking ahead to other columns, this, like I said, is not the best example because back here in January, I just wrote places I wanted to go, and here I'm breaking down some of the writing that I want to do this week. And so I've broken down blog posts, overall, just what I want to accomplish with my blog posts. And normally they would reflect more of the monthly goals. Now I did that actually for February. I went ahead and added to that, that monthly sidebar, I added a line, personal and doctor appointments. So there's a lot of things that I need to do, get medical records, get my hair cut, just little things like that, you know, the personal care, personal tasks, everything like that. So what I had already done was filled out some of the notes section. I need to get some dental records, schedule hair, nails, specifically work on blog posts for this week. And then I went ahead and also I started this week. So here I am making an overall list, pack scrapbooking because I'm going scrapbooking with my friend Linda. Things like glasses, car mileage for any car repairs, you know, following up on that, and just things like that. So that's what I'm using the note section for. And now you see some are checked off. Yay, go me. But also some of the things are carrying over from both the week before and the month before. And I'm doing that kind of a la bullet journaling style, but I really don't care to make it look neat. I'm just, if I have to cross something out, I cross it out. I'm not worrying about any particular style or formatting. I mean, here's something I did for the week. I made a list of times for this particular coffee shop, but I already went there, so I don't need that anymore. And I'm actually going to cover that up with another one of those decorative sidebar checklists so that I can make use of this space. And this February is more following with my February sidebar notes. And I break down the weekly when it's pretty obvious what I want to do for the month. So the personal and doctor appointments, that's probably the best example. Whoops, that's the best example there, because that I am breaking down. This week, I wanted to call these places, this week, next week, that kind of thing. So I find that's a really good use of the weekly sidebars to break down the larger tasks. And the week at a glance breaks it down even more. And I'll show you how I'm doing that. Here's my week at a glance views. And this is pretty obvious. This is what we see in all of the YouTube videos, and this is what most of us have as a calendar to focus on every day. So January was a little haphazard over the whole thing because there were days and weeks that I had time to plan. There were days I didn't. You can see I just hand wrote in some tasks here. The first week back from vacation, there were just some random things, and I needed to remember things like the house inspection and calling some moving companies and my work shifts, that sort of thing. And like I said, January was very random. I mean, I even put in Post-it notes in case I needed to use those. Here was a little Post-it note from the Michaels kits. And since I had some blank space, I started using those little quote stickers, you know, kind of reminding me one thing at a time. That's I need that. I need that inspiration right there. You know, some of it got a little colorful. Some of it got a little matching. You know, I found that I was using a lot of stickers from the planner kind of kit from Me and My Big Ideas. It's the 1829 piece, and it's supposed to be the planner one. I don't know where it says that or where I saw that, but it's got a lot of stickers here. You can see it's got some checklists, it's got some pay bills, steps, time with friends, travel, just a bunch of other little things, work, hydrate, which I always find, I always find a waste. I don't know who actually tracks their water. You either drink it or you don't. So there's just a whole lot of little things here that are in this kit. Although for a planning kit, it really isn't that very useful. It's got a lot of things. It's missing a lot of things that I would find productive. But moving into February, this is when I started to, really have some of the plans finalized with, well, just knowing what tasks I need to do. So the first thing I did is every week I put down my work shift, the days that I'm working. And now I am still trying to keep this true to my earlier plans to keep this row personal, this row writing, and this row social media. I'm somewhat successful in the month of February. And that's how I'm planning it, because I am keeping it also somewhat chronological. We're doing our taxes at 8:30 at night on Thursday. So I just want to make sure that, it's kind of a cross between keeping true to what I want where and keeping the chronological time. And that's okay with me. This month of February, I'm fine with that. So like I said, here's next week. I went ahead and put in all of my work shifts. And remember that little Anthology Coffee crossed off thing? I used one of the check boxes from the Pink Room Company sheet. Now, it did come with another sidebar checklist right here, but I found it was kind of dark, and it was also too big for the space that I had left here because of what I had written and things I was already writing down here, so I just used a checklist. It works. I mean, I want this to be a checklist. I want this all to be a great big to-do list and breaking it out. So from all of the things that I have plans here, I broke out per day. So let me start with last week. That's a good one. Like I said, still, these are some of the, earlier I had goodbyes to do. So this is the start of my goodbyes. Just some tasks, the personal tasks that I need to do, some of the writing. Here's some of the social media that I want to do, the blog posts and social media promotion. Again, some more goodbyes, places to visit. This was kind of a nice little ephemera from coffee shop I went to, and I want to remember that. Didn't have time to glue it in, so it's paper clipped, and that's fine for now. And, here's this week, breaking some of the things down that I need to do. Just noticing that, that was something with the game that I'm playing. And so I just have some things, and I've started these, I haven't worked on the weekend yet because I don't know what the earlier week is going to be. And I don't know what next week is other than my work shifts. So, and then the week after that is our moving week. So I know what's going to happen then. So I'm doing this 1 week at a time, using the week at a glance, at the same time basing that off of my sidebar notes for the week, which are based off of my monthly sidebar notes, which are based off of my month at a glance. So they are all working together. And so when you have a really busy month or 2 or 3, and you have to look more than a week ahead, this is a really good system to use. And it's something to really keep things straight and keep it all visual. Just keep it all organized, and it's a great way to plan